Welcome back everybody, Todd here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Today Laura and I are taking a trip up to our northern Michigan cabin just to see what kind of condition it's in. You know, this ice storm hit northern Michigan several days ago and it's just been devastating to the area. We have no idea if trees have fallen on the cabin or not. Don't even know if I'll even be able to get through the half-mile wooded trail just to get back to the cabin, but we're loaded up with some chainsaws and whatnot. We're gonna take a trip up there. So far so good, but we're north of Rose City now, closing in on Mayo, and all of a sudden we're starting to see lots and lots of trees down, etc. So we'll take you along for the trip and see what happens. There's Laura driving us up as usual. So we're on 33 heading north out of Rose City. We're probably 10 miles south of Mayo right now, and you know, we're seeing trees down regularly. You know, we're coming up on a bunch of pines down right here. Just not encouraging, but we'll see what happens. Coming up on the corner of 489 and 32. Over here you got Consumers Cruise. We've been passing Consumers trucks from about, you know, road between Rose City and Mile on. You can see they've been cutting stuff back here. We're about 5 miles from the cabin now. Not looking good if you look at the edge of that tree line. Here's our driveway that kind of comes in. You can see we got a tree down here, runs through here, and then it heads back in the woods a half mile to the cabin. So obviously we didn't get far. We've got some more down here. You can see my neighbors running a generator. I can hear that. If we look down the road, you can see the road's completely blocked with a big tree down in front of it. We're gonna walk the drive, or the trail we call it, back into the cabin to see what we're up against. Okay, we made the corner and we can clear this. Just drag it off to the side. So far so good. So we've made it all the way down here. We're catching some on this corner. I'll spin you around. We just came from down there. There's one tree across there that needs to be taken out with a chainsaw, but we cleaned all that out, so we're in good shape. So far it's been this kind of stuff that we can pull off to the side. So we're only one tree down that needs to be cut with a saw at this point, but probably the worst to come will be around this corner up here. We're making our way, a few more down here, back this direction. We did some chainsaw work back up on the corner here, and a lot of branches and stuff, but hey, we're making our way. Once we hit this clearing out here, we're in pretty good shape. So a little more saw work to do here, and then we're getting closer to finding out what's going on with the cabin. Here's our property line coming in, and here's our driveway going up. It's devastation. Let's walk up and see what's what. This looks like hours of chainsaw work here. I see the building still standing in the background, but I see trees snapped off everywhere. Well, man, the big tree, the big oak tree came down, but it went the other way. It didn't go towards the cabin.
You see this one there?
Yeah. Look at that. Trees everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Just looking back. Yep. Right now, as long as that tree behind the cabin didn't get us. Look at that oak tree. If that had come down the other direction, we would not have a cabin. This one, white pine, snapped all the heck. Well, the front yard's gonna look a whole lot different. We good?
The cabin's good. There's not a tree here that isn't. Yes.
Trying to look to see if it looks like anything bounced off the roof. Look at the size of this pine tree. That thing could have come over here, and those branches are big enough, anything could have busted the roof. You got this giant oak. The back side snapped off. If the front side had come down, we'd be done for.
I'd say we're pretty lucky.
Sheds are in good shape. So far, so good. I don't see back side of the cabin. I mean, you got branches everywhere, but nothing looks like it did damage to the cabin. This tree right here I was the most concerned with because that could load up with ice and fall on the bathroom. I wanted to take that tree down anyway, so we got a start on it. That cherry busted off. Tractor shed looks good back here. Uh-oh. We got some branches that came down. Let's see if it's up against the shed. Let's stand back and look at the roof. Doesn't look like there's any roof damage, so if it did hit the roof, it didn't do any damage. Here's our power line where it comes in. Don't go too close. Yeah, there's stuff down on the power line. Right there's the post. It comes down that post right there and goes underground. And there's a power line back here. And I'm pretty sure based on all of those down branches that our power line is down. Ooh, bad form. That tree took out half our buck pole, man. Man, that's a 4x4 that just got snapped right in half. I mean, look at this. Everywhere I turn, I've got big trees down. The top of that came down. I don't want to spin too fast. Yeah, that's going to be right on there. I can see the power line. Here's the power line. And it is still above ground. Right there's a transformer of sorts. You can see these trees that are looped over it. Right there. Power line to there. You can see that post with like a transformer on it. Boom. It's looped down to there. Again, I don't want to go too close. I don't know how far stuff travels, but yeah. Well, at least we can call it in for whatever good that'll do us. You can see it goes back to that transformer and then the power line keeps going in that direction. We cleaned out the power line going that way recently, so I don't think that we're going to have any issues there. It's from here to the cabin is through the gauntlet of all of those down trees. Okay, so our driveway's down there. If you go to the right, it goes up to the cabin. And if you come this direction, it goes back into our trail system. So we're going to go ahead and take a few of these trees out of the way. We're going to try to make it around through our trail system to kind of come into the yard the back way. We were doing pretty good. You can see the yard, you can see the cabin. We made it this far, and honestly, a little bit of chainsaw work here and then we're in the yard. So this was definitely a better way to go, because I think it's going to be hours of cutting on that driveway to get up that driveway. So let's go ahead and get the chainsaw going, and we'll get this stuff opened up so we can get to the yard. And there we go. At least for now, access to the yard. Okay. She's in the yard. So the driveway's right up that way. And there we go. Yep. So, walking the driveway back in this direction then. That's the tangled mess that we got to cut our way through to get up the driveway. Time to sharpen the chain and get everything tuned up and ready to go. But that'd be my goal for today, is just to be able to get that cut through so we can get in and out of here. I'm not worried about cleaning it up right now, just get it off to the side so we can drive through it. Yeah, pretty much devastation everywhere you look, except for the cabin, so we'll take it. Putting that in a win category. I mean, you look at these great big trees, half of that came down, it just came down the right direction. So I'm pretty thankful for sure. So it's later in the day, fairly late in the day. We pretty much got this thing cut up. Cut some of it right to length, and Laura's dumping it back there to season. You can see we got all the limbs just in piles around the edge of the yard. We'll go ahead when I come up in a couple of weeks. We'll carry all that off with the forks in the tractor. Still have the great big log here to do, but we're just running out of time and energy. So yeah, that's an accomplishment right there. Let me show you what we got done out here on the driveway. You can see that we can now pass through here. I just cut it open, piled everything off on the side. I'll deal with that when I come back up in turkey season. We've got big brush piles on the property. I'll cut this up the forks, grab it pile by pile, and run it out there and dump it in our big brush piles. But there you go. At least we can drive in the driveway now. That's an accomplishment, let me tell you.